Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Amanda Song, and this is our growth mindset journey. So last time we talked about the power of process and how focusing on effort helps you actually get where you want to be much faster. So today we're going to talk about what happens when you take praise too seriously and how too much praise can actually make you fail more. Growing up in the public school system, I was usually an above average student. I was a student who did my homework at night when I was supposed to. My parents read with me at nights when I was younger, and I put effort into my education, and I focused as much as I could when I was in the classroom. I definitely had that going for me, but the problem with that was that I started to think of myself as being naturally smart. I thought I was naturally better than all the other students around me. And when I went to high school, that was even kind of reconfirmed because I got into a talented and gifted program that was like the top 5% of students in the school. And that program was very problematic in hindsight. The worst thing about that program was that a lot of teachers at that point, and even my parents, started to call me like smart and talented. And those words, if you know anything about fixed mindset, those words doom you to thinking that you cannot improve yourself, that you are fixed and you're either born smart or you're a loser. That didn't catch up with me though until actually Columbia University. Now I was playing at the same level with the people who just a few years ago I thought I could never be in a room with. It's an Ivy League school, and as you can imagine, there are a lot of very talented and successful people there. So I went to Columbia University right after college, and I did not have any journalism related work experience. But now I was in the same classroom and expected to do the same things as people who already had years of TV news experience or magazine experience, etc. And people even from different countries. And I felt so insecure, and I began to feel like I'll never be as good as them. They already have so much going for them, and I'm me with my fixed traits. For like the first month or so, I was very eager, and I was like, yeah, I expected there to be a learning curve, and that kind of made me put in just enough effort. At some point I started to panic because the thing with effort is that it's kind of like an inverse curve, where it's that you start out thinking, oh, I can do this. And as you go down, you start to think, this is harder than I thought. And then you go down a little bit more and you're like, okay, this is way harder than I thought. And you reach a turning point where you either give up or you reach the dark night of the soul, and it's your darkest moment, and it really determines who you are. If you give up at this point, you are kind of stuck in the fixed mindset and you will never achieve your goal. If you can push through that point, you can become whoever and whatever you want to be. But the problem was I hit my dark night of the soul at Columbia because I started to realize it was way harder than I had imagined. And yes, I was a good writer, but even that backfired because their teachers started to tell me that, oh, I'm a good writer. And I started to feel like, I'm a good writer, I got this. And I stopped learning. So in the middle of my time there, I fell into a really big depression because I wasn't seeing the results that I expected. I wasn't winning any awards. I felt like my journalism wasn't really improving that much. And at the same time, I stopped putting in effort because I was smart, I was talented, I was a good writer. Like, I don't need to put in effort. And that was a terrible moment for me. From that moment until I graduated, I lost so much self-esteem, so much confidence, and I just missed out on so many opportunities. I stopped hanging out with friends. I stopped going out and learning new things. I did the bare minimum just to graduate. And the whole time I was telling myself, it's okay, Amanda, you're doing your best. And in hindsight, I'm so ashamed of that time period because I burnt a lot of bridges, and there's so many things that I could have done better. And the problem was I had taken all of that praise I'd received throughout my life of education from my parents, my teachers, anyone, even my friends. When they told me I was smart, when they told me I was a good writer, when they told me I was talented, I thought that meant it's a given, I'm a shoo-in for success. And what I learned at Columbia was that that's not the case. There's definitely a correlation between when I stopped putting in the effort and stopped learning new things from others, and when my success flattened out and even started to decline. I still sort of struggle to interpret that time period. So as one example, in spring, There's a huge journalism career fair when all of the dream news networks, they're there and they want us because Columbia Journalism School is the top journalism school in the world. I found there a place called Sky News, and they're an international news organization. And there was an opportunity to be a broadcast journalist in South Korea, which was like, wow, that is my dream. So I went to talk to them and I told them that I can speak Korean a little bit. I told them that I learn really quickly. I told them all of the things that I thought I knew about myself. And then they asked one simple question. Do you have a reel? A reel is basically like a montage of clips of you reporting. And no, I did not have that. So they said, okay, put together a reel and send it to us. They wanted me for that job. Can you guess what I did? I went back and I was like, wow, that's a great opportunity. Too bad I don't have a reel, but they'll probably still take me because I'm a Columbia graduate. I applied for the job. I did not put in the effort to make a reel. It would not have taken that much effort. I had certainly done some news reporting. I could have gone out and filmed more stories, but I had stuck myself into that fixed mindset, and because of that, I did not get the job opportunity. At least the best news about this time period of my life is that I learned a lot about myself. I learned that I need to keep learning and growing, and that who I was at that time is not the end. Whew, it only gets worse. But this was a little bit of a sadder episode, but I think the best thing is that you can take away my mistakes and you don't have to make the same mistakes. Yeah, I think about that time period still, and there's just so much more. It's Columbia University. It was my like golden ticket, and I shat all over it. And next time we're going to talk about the dangers of the fixed mindset, what happened to me after I graduated. Thanks for watching this video, and go out into the world, take my mistakes and use them to grow yourself, and I'll see you next time. Bye.